Yo, what's up guys? So I'm here bringing you an Infernoid Snake Eyes deck profile. So the Snake Eyes cards, they just came out in the OCG in Age of Overlord, and I think the cards are pretty cool. They were all pyros except for the boss monster, and they can basically search for any level 1 fire monster. So they work well with a lot of different fire monsters like Jet Synchron and the Rescue Ace Searcher, the level 1 Fire Hydrant, whatever it's called, and also Infernoid Decatron. So unlike a normal Infernoid deck, you don't need a bunch of milling cards. Essentially, if you can manage to get this guy onto the field, then you can search for Decatron and then you can summon him, and then you can start doing your combos. So most of your plays will start with this chickie, Diabellestarr. She's really exploded in the OCG. Almost every single deck is playing her, mainly because she can get to like a level 1 tuner, and then she's a level 7 extender, and she can also search for like a general negate. So yeah, so she's popular and she's pretty expensive for an OCG card. She has like 4 rarities, but she's all of the copies are over $20 in price. So that's pretty nuts for the OCG. Having the cheapest copy of a card with multiple rarities be over $20. So yeah, so for the deck, you play 1 Onuncu, 1 Devyaty. Don't really need more than that. And then you play 2 of your Snake Eyes boss monster. So for your combo, you typically go through both of them, but you can recycle the second one if you need to summon one for an OTK, like on the following turn or something. So that's fine. And then you have 1 Attondel, 1 Seitsemas. Then obviously 3 Diabellestarr. It's the best card in the deck next to Decatron. And then you have one of these Sjette, 1 Patrulea, 1 Harmadik, Ashes, this level 2 one. And then obviously you always play 1 Kurikara in all of these like Snake Eyes decks, because you can easily search for it and you can easily recycle it. It's pretty nutty. It's one of the reasons why this deck can actually play through a lot of disruption. And then you have your Oark, your Snake Eyes. So this guy, you can summon a level 1 fire monster that's banished or in the graveyard, or you can add it to the hand. So that's quite versatile. Add back a Kurikara or summon back a Decatron. And his other effect is you can send itself and another face-up card to summon a Snake Eyes monster from the hand or the deck. So that's pretty cool. And then you have your Searcher. Just adds a level 1 fire monster on normal or special summon. And then he also has the E-tally effect, sending another face-up card you control to summon a Snake Eyes monster from the deck. And then obviously you have Decatron. Every time you summon him, you can dump an Infernoid, copies the effect and the name. So you're usually dumping like your big guys. But in the combo, you want to dump these ones first, and then your last summon, you dump your big guys so that you can keep your negate. And then you can actually use these guys as extenders just to summon an extra monster, so that you can make Masquerena, Little Knight, or you can make Flame Tongue. Flame Tongue can get back any of your banished fire monsters. And then you have your last one. So this is the extender for the archetype. If you control a fire monster, any fire monster, you can summon him from your hand. And then he also has the E-tally effect, but he can only activate it as a quick effect during the opponent's turn. So that's useful for triggering his effect, because on summon he can summon any monster that's treated as a continuous spell or trap card. Continuous spell card. Yeah, continuous spell card. So usually you'll trigger his effect to summon him, and then you use his effect to usually summon Diabellestarr that you've put in your spell and trap zone, and then you'll trigger its effect, and then you can set something, set this or this. So that's pretty cool. Obviously 1 for 1, and then you got your talents just to draw more cards, and then you have reasoning because there are many different levels. So and you have a lot of different cards that are nice to hit. It's nice to hit Diabellestarr, it's nice to hit like Decatron, and then more your Infernoid monsters. Some people have actually been playing this deck in the OCG, but they only play, I think, they only play this guy and Onuncu. So they just play like a very small engine, and I can see that. I can see why they would prefer that. But I really like the toolbox ability, being able to just choose whatever effect you want for whatever situation. It's actually been quite useful. And then card destruction, very nice. Just get rid of the stuff in your hand that's not that useful, and then draw more cards. And then you have your E-Tally. Send another face-up card you control to the graveyard. Special summon 1 level 1 fire monster from your hand or deck. So typically you'll use this to special summon this, use its effect to search Decatron, normal summon Decatron, and then you can start your plays like that. And then its graveyard effect is you can target a Snake Eyes Diabellestarr monster in your graveyard. Add a level 1 fire monster from your deck to your hand, and then place a target at the bottom of the deck. So this card can recycle your monsters. And then you have the Diabellestarr Searcher. Add 1 from the deck or graveyard to your hand, and then during your main phase you can banish it. Target one of your Sinful Spoils cards, spell traps in your graveyard or that is banished. Place it at the bottom of the deck, and then draw 1 card. So this recycles your spell and trap cards, and then you get 1 draw. So I think that's one of the main reasons why they use Diabellestarr in the OCG. Because summon it by discarding something, set this, after searching it with this obviously, set this, activate its effect, send it, summon a level 1 tuner or whatever, and then when it's in the graveyard you can banish it and put it at the bottom of the deck, and then search a level 1 fire monster, and then you can activate this effect and then put this back at the bottom, because usually they only play 1 of this, and then you can draw 1 card. So I guess, yeah, that's pretty cool. And then you have your impermanences, and then you have your negates. You have to send a Diabellestarr monster from your hand or face up here to the graveyard, target a card on the field and negate its effects. So negate spell, traps and monsters. And then when your opponent activates a card or effect in response to your Diabellestarr monster's effect or Sinful Spoils spell or trap card effect, you can banish it from the graveyard and then negate that effect. And you can only use 1 of its effects. So if you happen to draw this and Diabellestarr, you discard this to activate it, and then if your opponent responds with something, then you can banish this, and then you can negate your opponent's effect. So that has come up before. And then we have our extra deck: Baronne, Omega, Zeus, Downerd, Lyrilusc, assembled Nightingale. This is just to make like a big Zeus. You have plenty of opportunities actually to make this, and just make a two effect Zeus. And then we have this as disruption, because you have a couple of free level 1s. So this is some nice disruption. Forces your opponent to basically go into the battle phase and out it before they do anything else. Otherwise you can just bounce like 2 of their special summon monsters, which is pretty big disruption against a lot of decks. And you have Underworld Goddess. This is just to mix like multiple effects, and it's quite easy to summon in this deck. And then you have Borrelsword Dragon, OTKs, access code Torko for OTKs, or just to remove a lot of annoying cards. You have Nightmare Unicorn, Phoenix, and then you have SP Little Knight. Extremely useful card, so good, so good. Then you have Flame Tongue for recycling and protecting any face-up cards you have. because sometimes you have your monsters in the continuous spell and trap zone. And then you have IP Masquerena, and then we have Linkuriboh. Linkuriboh is very useful because you can tribute one of your free level 1s, and then you can protect something like Robin from attacks, which is pretty cool. And then the side deck, you can mostly just ignore Nibiru, Regeki, and then you have the other Sinful Spoils card. This targets any face-up monster on the field and then puts it in its owner's spell and trap zones, so it gets around things like Mirror Jade or anything that triggers on like getting removed from the field or whatever. It's pretty nice removal. Only downside is that it targets, but otherwise it's like if you put something in their spell and trap zone, they are likely not going to be able to get it back again. Yeah, so that's pretty funny. Dark Ruler, evenly matched, and then Dimensional Barrier. Alright, so that is the deck. So I want to show one or two duels very quickly. So let's see if I've named it correctly. Diabellestarr. Okay, now let's check Infernoid. Okay, Infernoid Snake Eyes. Right, so let's check out the combo video, because I did make a combo video. Okay, so starting with Diabellestarr and any other card basically. Okay, so you set your E-Tally, send her, you summon your Searcher, you search for Decatron, normal summon it, and then you dump an Infernoid, and then you sack, and then you summon your Reviver, and then you summon Decatron again, you dump another Infernoid, and then you summon your Extender, and then you summon your big boss from the deck. You activate the Diabellestarr in the spell and trap zone. You summon 2 cards with the big boss because it gets sent to the graveyard. Then you dump your negate. Starting your opponent's turn, you send 2 cards and then you'll summon your big boss again. So Diabellestarr will trigger, sending it to the graveyard. You'll set a card and then it'll summon 2 cards back. So now you can actually get your other negate from Decatron. Alright, so you get your search, Kurikara, for the next turn. Okay, so now you can make SP. SP will banish a card. Decatron will negate the spell. And then that is the end of their turn. So, bunch of disruption there. Then Borrelsword Dragon, and then you can summon your big Infernoids. And then you can attack for game. Alright, so that is a basic combo with the deck. So we will check out a gameplay video. I really like the one against like Gold Pride. So let's check this out. Okay, swap. So I generally don't know how this deck works. Gold Pride. I just know they just put a bunch of stuff on the field. They set the trap card that's really broken. They get to destroy your card and get a search. Pretty nutty. Alright, so they're doing a bunch of stuff. I personally think this deck is a bit like easy to play around. Alright, so they put the token there, so it's a good idea to avoid the token, but it doesn't really matter if they blow up any of these cards, to be honest. Okay, so we got Decatron. Right, now we can actually negate, and then we can use their token as cost. Okay, attacking for a big 500. Kurikara will revive one of their monsters. Okay, so we do have one spell and trap negate. Right, so he puts stuff in the spell and trap zone, which would be annoying for most decks, but this deck actually likes having cards in the spell and trap zone. Okay, so we search for another Decatron. They negate. Right, but we have Diabellestarr, think they're trying to destroy it, are they? Oh, they're getting the attack. But it doesn't really matter. See, this is where the toolbox comes in. You just, like, you can activate any effect, basically. Okay, they're doing their thing again. But we'll put him in there, get rid of him. And then we can attack for gang. Right, so GG. Let's see how this went. Alright, so we are going first. Starting with reasoning. So here I was still playing the Infernoid continuous spell and trap cards, but they're kind of garbage, so I remove them. Alright, so just going through the regular combo, this time with Baronne. Full protection. Put that Diabellestarr in there, destroy him so we can trigger his effect, Decatron. And then we summon the one that's a quick play, summon from deck. Diabellestarr sends it to the graveyard, he gets 2 effects. Okay, so we get another negate on the field. But they have Dark Ruler. I don't actually think we have any disruption. Okay, so they're only able to get rid of 2 cards and then Baronne is online again. It's so terrible when you have Dark Ruler and then, you know, you can't even get rid of your opponent's monsters. It's so weird. Why even bother playing that? Just play Regeki or something. Right, so that's the deck and those are the duels. I think this deck is quite strong. This is probably not the most optimal list. Still need to optimize it, but it's good for a start. Strong against a lot of different stuff. Can definitely go first, can definitely go second, and it doesn't lose to anything in particular. Even shifter, if you get shifted, I think it's still possible to just like end on a Robin or something, or you can even summon like Little Knight, because Little Knight, some decks do actually struggle with Little Knight. Yeah, they struggle with Little Knight. Yeah, it's an annoying thing. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the deck profile, and I will see you next time.